To the top right, another StarTale player. It is not a good season for a StarTale player to be in the up and downs. Most of them lost their matches. We only have one player advance. It is curious, but now his teammate is struggling to save himself a chance to advance. We have to the top right. Main turn StarTale player.
StarTale Virus.
And he's up against a Team Liquid player today in this particular match. He's up against a player who is currently 2-1 in the group. To the bottom left of Daybreak, we have
Liquid Zenio.
I have not seen late game TZ from Virus in a really long time. Seems like these days mostly TVTs, has some TVP games coming in there, but I'm wondering what we're going to see from him, because I just, again, I don't know his style. It's a player where in this matchup, I'm like, I can't pick a style for him. I don't know what he's going to do. I have seen him mech before. I've seen him do it on dual sight, but that was a long time ago. This is not dual sight either, and it's impossible for me to predict what he's going to do in this match.
I'm really interested what Zenio is going to pull off in the early game, because what we've seen lately is that a lot of Zerg players DRG introduced a style into the meta game where he tried to go for a lot of roach attacks. He basically started with 7 roach attacks. Sometimes this would push his opponent with 5. Then we had the transition into roach banelings, but it has been fallen off a little bit. So Zerg tried to be more defensive, started to go for 4 queens, no gas, try to defend against Hellions. And right now, a lot of Zerg players try to be aggressive again. They try to push their opponent's Hellions back, try to take an early lead in the game with small attacks where they use either Roach Circling or Roach Baneling and fall back into a 3-base play. So I want to see if Zenio is actually doing something along those lines, if he wants to be aggressive here, or if he just tries to stay on his 2 to 3 bases, tries to defend and then pushes out as soon as he reaches his tag and gets this force. With the gas that's coming up, it could also indicate that he's trying to go just for an early speed in order to shut down kind of the scouts, tries to control the map. But definitely a lot of possibilities here for Zenio to go for, as Virus is not getting any refineries right now. We'll probably get double refinery to go for the Reactor Factory Hellions. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what Zenio's game plan is on Daybreak.
You know, you're right about the way that Zerg has changed to where they can be more aggressive. They have so many more options. I feel like that's how Zerg was in StarCraft 1 and all the matchups. Like, you don't know what the Zerg's going to do. You have to react to him in the early game because he could do an early pressure, he could do a rush, he could do like a Hydra Bust, for example, or he might just go for a double hatch before pool. I mean, anything is possible. And I like how Zerg is going to be evolved in StarCraft 2 in a similar way where, yeah, you can be a little bit defensive against Zerg, and, you know, if you cut a few corners, though, the Zerg can still kill you with a Baneling Roach all-in. You can kill the Zerg, though, with a fast push. You can still 2-rax the Zerg. The Zerg has to be defensive as well. It's a matchup that's very much so not favoring one race early or another. I feel like it's very, very even. It used to be the Terran kind of dominated the early game, the mid game, but it's not like that anymore, and I really like that. I love how this matchup has evolved.
I would really like to see a change in the meta game for Terran. I'm not quite sure if relying on the Hellions is still something that with the Queen changes is all that viable, because as we've seen in the past, you can't control the creep that much. You have to kind of hope for your opponent to make a mistake. This CV Scout has been detected, by the way, as you can see on screen. So the 3rd base will come into play here. Zenio's not getting aggressive. But yeah, I think that in the future we might see other openings for Terran, trying to rely more on the siege tank timing, or even start with more with more Cloak Banshee play to put a little bit of aggression onto the Terran player. I think that's something that makes more sense right now, because the Queens are just dominating the ground in the early game against Hellions.
You're right.
It's just the time in the game where we will see different strategies popping up again.
Now the question is, from here, what will the Zerg do? What sort of tech? Zenio has been prone to go mutas in the past. You know, it's the time where infestors are more popular. Very few players are utilizing mutas. We saw muta play yesterday. We also saw it with Nesty in not only IPL but some of his Iron Squid matches. You talked to him about it on Off the Record, something he has been doing recently. Zenio getting an Evolution Chamber though and a Roach Warren, playing this almost like a ZVP. No Lair, of course. Nice control on this Hellion, does manage to keep it alive. The Hellion will go double check this third hatchery before it gets taken out. In fact, he may save it, but I don't think so.
The thing is, as soon as you go for the Roach run, you are safe against a lot of... Oh, he's going for the Baneling Nest as well. I was wondering if he would go for some kind of Roach Baneling aggression, but I still don't see that coming. He's just preparing like crazy for every eventuality. He has a Roach Warren, so in case there's a huge Hellion attack, he can defend against it. He's ready for some kind of mech play of his opponent. Getting the Baneling Nest, he's getting Spores, as you said. So even against Banshees, he would be fine. He's playing super, super safe here. Yes. He is just doing everything in a defensive measure, getting a few roaches, not too many, so that he can defend, and even
he has a second
armor
Evo
upgrade.
chamber. What is he going to try to... Okay, I was going to say, there's no way he's going to go for missile upgrades there.
No.
But he has made a total of 2 roaches. That's kind of a weird number, but that's what he's got. Usually you see at least 3, but he's got 2. And he's going to be able to use those to maybe stop Hellions, help add some extra DPS in defending drops that he may encounter. Right now, Virus's play is pretty textbook. He's getting tanks out, Starport and Reactor finishing up so he can get double medevacs. He's only getting Stim just now. His 1-1 is on the way as well. So fairly similar timings for upgrades. Zenio a little bit ahead though.
The Overlord scout in the main base now, and Zenio basically sees all that he has to scout with the new Overlord speed. He is in a great position here. He has a good glimpse on what exactly his opponent is up to.
I don't think he's seen the third base though.
No, he hasn't seen the third, but he has the Overlord in position, and we also have a Zergling at the third base, so he can just now at least assume that his opponent is expanding again when the Zergling is going to be attacked. Lair tech is nearly done for Zenio, and as mentioned, he is playing this super, super safe. If I had to criticize one thing, it would be that his creep spread is not as good as it could be. He's spreading his creep outside of his third base and the natural, but still he could be a little bit better. He could also commit more energy of the queens to spreading his creep. He has 3, is getting a 4th, and he's using the transition into Infestor, so kind of what we've seen in the past. Except for a few Zerg players, most Zergs try to go for the Infestor play in the beginning and then transition into Ultralisk Broodlords. And with the Medivacs out, we have now the drop starter for Virus. But Zenio should be fine here with all the things that he did in order to be able to defend against such attacks. He should be fine.
Yeah. Well, the North Hatchery is going up. It was just spotted, I believe, by that dropship. And yeah, he does see it. There were several units there, but with good splits against just the 2 Banelings that are out there, he actually can target those Banelings down and then force a cancel potentially on this hatchery, especially because Zenio is out of position right now. Even though with the units he's out of position with, he could potentially take a siege tank out here. Since only a small group is early forward, a bit of an overstep there.
I actually don't think so. I think that was a really nice decision. What he tried to do here is he did not see the Marines. So he thought, well, I can try to take the siege tank down. If I send 4 Zerglings in and there are no Marines, then they will be able to take down the siege tank no matter what.
It could have been...
If I commit with too many lings, then I might lose them all.
Yeah, that actually seems likely to be his plan. His other drop is spotted immediately here. Great reaction time by Zenio. He may decide to drop regardless, but no, as the second wave comes in, he's not going to. Oh, he did not micro as well as he should have at the north. That was what I was talking about earlier, but he did not split, and so, well, there you go.
Multitasking here, and the Baneling connects with nearly all of them. At the low ground now, and at the natural, we have the drop, and the Queen should definitely try to target the Medivac, and she does, yes. But the Medivac goes away once again.
The Infestors are out, and they were not spotted by the drop, so they are moving across the map now. Meanwhile, we do have a nice siege up defense for Virus at his base, at third, as well as at the front of his natural, but he has not taken a 4th just yet.
This is a little bit of an uncharacteristic game. Both players play really, really defensive. We don't have any huge attacks. Zenio, as an answer to his third base of his opponent that he scouted, takes a 4th. He will probably take a 5th very, very soon. And with the game, look at how many Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers he's getting right now. He does exactly what we've been talking about. You have to be safe against your opponent's
Is he really going to try to push with these Infestors? I really don't like this. I like the idea of sitting on the outside and funneling units and come down this choke point.
Maybe delaying. Trying to control the choke point a little bit. He has a borrowed Zergling there, so he can try to delay it. But now with the scan, he will move back because the rocks are gone. Just trying to delay, maybe catch a fungal or 2.
He gets one group of 3 Marines, and he fungals again, and the second fungal only hits 1 Marine and does kill it. But he is playing super risky right now. Like, he is...
Top left, another drop, by the way.
He's going to be denied with 4 Spine Crawlers in play, as well as a Spore.
Yeah.
Going to be taken out right away, even with the healing power he's got in these units. Fungal goes down, he leaves 1 Infestor. I haven't seen players leave 1 Infestor at a base since I saw Fruit Dealer play in the first open season of GSL, the finals against Rainbow. I have not seen that.
I like it. It's as a Protoss player, when you face a Terran, you have to think about leaving a High Templar in your main base to use the just kill Medivacs.
He is going for a big push
Feedback.
though, and this one I do not think will be denied. The Infestors are a little bit out of position. If he can get the siege up here, he will be able to defend against the Infestors no problem, and in fact he does.
With the Lings running in there, he tries to take down the Marines, but it's definitely not that easy. At the main base, we have another drop, and here the Zerglings, they don't get around, they go straight for the kill.
Yeah, there were only 2 Marines in that drop, so...
He has the Ultralisks now en route, but they might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, and there are 8 of them. He's committing a lot of resources to this.
Chitinous plating is being researched, as well as +3/+3, and you can already see how far ahead Zenio is in upgrades. Virus just completed +2/+2, and these Spine Crawlers, they keep the base alive, and they save him, they get him some time to get these Ultralisks. He might be able to pull it off.
He may be able to. There's a huge double drop going, though, down to the bottom, and this is going to be really problematic.
I like that how Virus expands behind it, how Virus gets double starport now as well to prepare for potential Broodlords. He's dropping while he puts all this aggression onto the base. There is a Spore Crawler, but 1 Spore Crawler is not enough, and the hatch is gone at the top left.
Yep, and these queens are going to fall most likely here. It looks like they get out just in time.
The pool is going to fall.
Yep, targeting down that spawning pool. He may lose all these Marines as a result. He's going to lose a lot of them for sure.
No adrenal glands here for Zenio. He has to rebuild the pool, and suddenly the Ultras are going to town here.
There's so many of them. They're trading pretty cost efficiently here as he does take out the tanks.
They die, every single one of them. He was able to kill a few Infestors, though. Actually, he killed every single one, and that's a big deal.
No more support for the Ultras, which means these Ultras, until they have some new Infestor support, will not be able to fight. There are 3 Infestors on the way. 3-3 is about to finish. He did engage before that. 3-3 is on the way as well for Virus, but very far ahead for Zenio, so he's going to have that 3-3 advantage over his opponent for a brief period of time. This is a planetary, well defended with no fungal support. He cannot attack that with the Ultralisk, does decide to turn around.
He needs the fungal support, and that kind of delays his push, which is a bit of a problem. Well, actually could work out exactly as he needs to, because 3-3 is going to finish, and Chitinous plating is done. If he attacks now, he will have an upgrade advantage over his opponent. Spire is on its way. Infest is nearly in position, and now another drop by Virus to the top left. He just is going for a relentless attack. He is just he's just having one attack after another, trying to push his opponent in the main base everywhere. The rocks in the middle, they are gone. Another nice bailing hit. The queen dies, but, well, is he killing the queen tumors? Yes, he scans and takes on every single one of them.
And this is a tough position for Zenio. He's now going to attack into siege tanks, taking a lot of tank fire. Infestors falling here as well. He's desperately dropping the Infested Terrans. The Ultras have the creep spread to help them, but there are way too many Marauders. You are so right. Virus pushes this back. These Ultras do escape for now,
Wolf, but we have battle cruisers now. He has 2
PCs on the way.
And this is really impressive by Virus.
Yeah,
he has the perfect composition with all these Marines and Marauders, and he splits them quite well. There are not that many Infestors, there are only 4, and this space is going to die.
This is something I've talked about a lot. I've wondered why fewer players are going battle cruisers in this matchup, because they're not only good against Ultras, of course, but they also do a ton of DPS to anything on the ground, including Broodlords who are in the air. So I think that the battlecruiser transition here is really smart. It forces your opponent to get Neural. If he doesn't have Neural, how's he going to kill a battlecruiser? He just won't. It shows that he has a lot of aggressive potential here. He's got a lot of resources banked. How can he engage? This is going to be tough. The siege tank's caught a little bit off guard, though.
Oh, exactly.
The Marauders are not able to support them.
And that's exactly what he needs. He needs to kill the siege tank.
But here we go.
Not in the choke point. He needs to stay away from this.
He's been able to keep these Ultras alive without losing them several times, and that's really important because it's a lot of gas he's not going to lose.
Marauders are in a good position. They're going to snipe the hatch here. This is exactly what you need to do as a Terran player now. You need to go for the stim. You have so much DPS. Just going in there and taking down hatchery.
There's too many Zerglings, though.
Awesome.
Gets the hatch, as you mentioned, but he does get cleaned up. The problem, though, is there's no knowledge for Zenio of this battlecruiser transition, and here they come. A few more Corruptors coming out for Zenio here, and you know, people may say, well, Wolf, you didn't mention he could use Corruptors to kill battlecruisers, but that is not ideal, especially with the amount of Marines on the ground, and the Vikings he may potentially make as well. It's just going to be very difficult to do that.
The thing is, with Corruption as a spell, you can target down battle cruisers, and he should not get too many of them, but just as an addition, it's definitely a good thing.
I'm surprised we don't see the weapon refit upgrade for the battle cruisers. We're just not seeing that. There's no Yamato cannon, and with no Yamato cannon, the battle cruiser's potential is very significantly lessened here.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about the battle cruisers. The thing is that Zenio did not spot them yet. That is the main problem for him. As soon as he sees it, he will definitely prepare accordingly.
And this is smart. See, this is what I'm talking about. You make Vikings and BCs. He's actually going total to sky here, making 4 Vikings at a time, adding additional starports. He actually has so much potential to do with this. Like, this is actually really amazing. I'm really happy to see this getting ship plating as well. This is something that we see foreign players sometimes do in this matchup in the late game, and we sometimes see Ravens, Battle Cruiser versus Corruptors with point defense drones and all that. But in this matchup, he's doing it much earlier. He's putting on the Battle Cruiser transition very quickly here. These units at the top are going to be completely shut down, but this allows Virus to move through the center. The Battle Cruisers have been shown now.
And immediately builds some additional Corruptors. +1 is also on its way. Zerglings are also being built. Way too many in my opinion. He's going in right now and he will crush the ground here if he has the support. The ultimate is doing a lot of damage. Where are the Fundals? Baneling's not doing too much damage. No Fundal left, but the amount of Marines is significantly diminished. Zenio still has the lead when it comes down to his overall supply, and he's getting 11 Corruptors right now. He has, how many does he have? 4. They will have Corruption.
Vikings out as well, but there is no weapon refit for these battle cruisers that have not been equipped. The Baneling Nest is going to be targeted down. He's getting Neural as well. This is what I was talking about earlier.
He needs to back off with the battle cruisers. He needs to back off here.
Yeah,
they will die.
Starting to get fumbled a little bit.
Just look at it.
But there are Marines coming in here as well.
Doesn't matter. Not enough of them.
Yeah, he can't get through.
He loses every single battle cruiser here. And this is exactly why you always need something to support them. On the ground, though, we have another beautiful fungal. This army by Virus caught out of position as Zenio
quite take out the Ultralisk. Again, man, this is like the 4th time the Ultras have been barely alive but not dying. Well, that changes very soon. And there are only Corruptors here now. This is something that Virus is kind of forced at this point with the battle cruisers.
But it does not matter because the Greater Spire is done. So as soon as he does not want to rely on his ground forces any longer, he can just go for the Bootlord tech.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it in a comfortable moment right now. I don't think he's doing it now, I guess. Virus' ground army here is a little bit smaller than I expected.
The position of Zenio, look at where he is positioned with his Broodlords. He has the Zilanaga Watchtower. He sees his opponent approaching. As soon as Virus runs in, he can fungal him, and he has a few Zerglings, so the Broodlords are well protected. This is a good spot to move them.
Yeah, this is, I mean, on the Watchtower is obviously the best place because there's also not a lot of room for the Marines to run under there because there's a crevice in the middle, but Planetary going up for Virus at the bottom right, and his economy is still decent here. He can remax, but he's going to now be dealing with those Broodlords, as you mentioned.
He doesn't have an answer for them at this point.
I think he overextended just a little bit too much with those battle cruisers. Maybe he thought the game was won. I'm not sure what his idea was there. After he lost the buffer,
I don't mind the idea, but getting too many of them, having them as a support is great. Build the Armada Cannon as well. But right now, how is he going to deal with this? He does not have anything to kill those Broodlords.
Yeah, there's no Vikings out at all.
But only as long as he has good bundles, and he's losing his Infestors. There's only 1 Infestor left, and that's a problem because now the Marines can charge in. Without fungal, the Broodlords are very vulnerable against Marine attacks.
Yep, and here they go. 3-3 upgraded Marines running in. Some Marauders helping out as well. No fungals.
Oh, there it is.
Just 1 fungal, and that is enough to change the tide of battle. But look at the supply. It's not that big of a deal for Virus here.
But
he's actually continued to rally, and now he actually can dart under because there's no Infestors this time.
But now he's getting 7 Infestors, and they will finish very soon.
He's waiting. Why is he waiting here? He knows what his opponent has. He could actually be going in right now. There's only 2 Banelings there. There's no Infestors.
He's afraid that there might be a fungal. If he moves in and there's a fungal on his Marines, he's dead. Everything will die. Like this, he can try to split his Marines, try to snipe his opponents, infest Broodlords with a few Vikings. That's exactly what he does right now, and he's able to kill 1 or 2.
Great control. Does get 1. It looks like he's considering splitting his Marines going to the side here. Right now, the income for these 2 players is fairly similar. Virus kind of equal when he has the mules dropped. He's going to catch this Broodlord Cocoon. Maybe not. He gets fungaled.
But
and there are great fungals on the Marines as well, but he does not have a follow-up. He's actually out of energy. One more fungal will do it. There it is.
Beautiful fungals.
Look at this, though.
Exactly what he needs.
The Marines still remain alive, doing a lot of DPS here. He needs to pull back with them, though, as they are all basically dead. Still a good trade. Look at the supply. It remains almost even right now.
The problem for Zenio is that he did not have enough Broodlords just yet. You need about roughly 8 Broodlords, 8 to 10, then you get Corruptors in order to deal with the Vikings and Infestors. That's the death ball. That's where your opponent has a huge problem, because the Infestors funneling everything. The Broodlords with 8 to 10, you have enough to create a lot of Broodlords that you can just intercept the army, and with the Corruptors you give just a little bit of the safety against Vikings.
He has a lot of tension. He feels he has to attack here because he knows his economy is actually not significantly better than his opponent's. A huge Zerling attack coming in here, though.
It's a cool game, by the way.
Yeah, this is actually a sick game. A huge drop in the main will clean up a lot of tech. In fact, he should be able to get everything here. His opponent way out of position. He's going to wish he claimed these Marines up earlier. Double tank drops here as well. Goes for the hive first. I'm not sure how much I like that. If he gets the tech, it's going to be great. But if he does not, I mean, basically he's killing 2 macro hatcheries. And the Broodlords are slowly but surely coming back here.
Base, the tech is dying, and that's a huge problem now for Zenio.
He's going for it. Finally going for the Broodlord tech.
And this is exactly what Virus needed. He completely caught Zenio off guard, and the army composition that Zenio has with Infestors and Broodlords is very slow. He cannot rely on the Zerglings to take this force down because there are way too many Marines with too much DPS. But now he's taking them apart, but it's already a little bit too late. He lost Hive, he lost his tech, and therefore he kind of has to. Can you have another look in the main base? What did he?
He killed the double Hive and the
Infestation Pit is at the natural. Yeah.
So all he got was the Greater Spire, basically, and the Hive. So he can't remake the Spire.
He has to rebuild the spawning pool, what he does right now.
Yeah.
So at this point, there's not a lot that he can actually build. He can go back into the Ultralisk
But he has a great position here over his base. He's taken aggressively at where Virus wants to take a base. We have a Mancer floating over a hatchery on the side there. Virus is... Basically, he's got a decent amount of mining, but it's not going to last forever. This is the next point of contention. There's going to be this hatchery that's going up here. How can he approach that? Because even though he killed the Greater Spire, his opponent still has Broodlords and a ton of Infestors available. It's going to be very impossible for him to attack.
He could actually build a few... Oh, sorry, he's getting a double spawning pool just to be safe.
Well, his pool in the main was dead.
He could also go for a couple of Ultralisks right now. I wouldn't mind that, because we don't have any Marauders.
I want to see him do another drop, because attacking this position will never work with good fungals. He's going to try it, but this, I think, is suicide.
This is one of the things that Zerg players can do. The tech switches, they're really dangerous. The fungals, they catch, and now we have, where are the Broodlords? They are not competing in the fight just yet. Now they're finally going in here.
He's just doing it so safely, and he's
nice
all these Marines.
Uses brilliant micro here by Zenio, but Virus is doing a great job. Infestor count is sick. We are 13 at this point, and he's funneling again. Lair tech is now going on for
There's
Zenio.
A lot of Vikings, though. He's taken out the last Corruptors, and this fight is actually so close every time.
But we have 1,600 minerals for Zenio, and also a lot of gas, while Virus is struggling to get minerals. He
needs to get this base.
At the bottom right.
He needs it. He absolutely needs it. He's sending his base across the center right now, taking the opposite base for Zenio. And right Zenio is making triple spine crawlers up at the north. Meanwhile, we have Virus' Marine count still fairly healthy at 60. The Infestors are rebuilding their energy, and Zenio has just been so cost-efficient this game. He's been able to mine bases and not have to... Look at this guy, he's got 1,500 because he has not had to remake his Infestors as many times.
I don't really understand why Zenio is not going to, for at least 7 additional Infestors. They are...
That's too many, man. That's
the Infestors is great here against the Marines, but the problem that I have, it's 20 actually. Why not at least 2 or 3 Ultralisks now? No Marauders, only Marines. Infestor, if you go in with Zergling, Ultralisk, and Fungal, that's brilliant. And that's something that Virus does not account for, because he still expects Broodlords, and that's exactly where Zenio goes. Well, he doesn't expect that he killed the Greater Spire, but Zenio is going back into this build.
Yeah, you're right. That's so many Infestors. 22. No, only 20. He lost a few. He had 2 additional ones making. I guess he lost 2 there somewhere. He's got 20. That's so many. I've only seen Lenok make this many, and not even quite, like maybe 18, not 20. He does take out 2 additional Infestors here. Good fungals, but they're not enough to clean up this army.
What you need against Infestors is usually you rely heavily on your siege tanks, and you're in a position where the Infestors cannot approach your Marines without running into the siege tank range. But Virus is getting so many Vikings now. He's getting 10, and against the Broodlords, this is awesome, but just picture this game with a few Ultralisks. Only 3. No more. 3 and Zerglings. Go in, and force him to transition again. That's one of the strengths of Zerg, that you cannot do a tech switch that easily.
This triple drop here at the natural is going to be so devastating. There's not a lot to answer for this. If he moves many of his units away from the the third base location, he's actually going to lose that as well. He's targeting down the lair, and with the amount of DPS on the Fungals, I think he will be able to save it, but it's damaged quite heavily. The Infestation Pit damaged as well. And Virus did not take advantage of the fact that his opponent moved Infestors out of position. Even so, though, if he's got so many Infestors, if he sends 4 over there, he still has, what, 16 at the other base, so it's very difficult for him to approach. Either way, at the north, there are so many spines available. Catching 2 Vikings here.
And the Viking count is currently at 8 against 9 Corruptors. He builds 9 additional
2 additional battlecruisers coming out as well here. Still no weapon refit.
The battlecruisers won't change a thing if he continues playing like this, because the problem is that we have way too many Corruptors with a corruption spell and a decent target fire. They will go down.
Virus is going to trade bases here. He's going to go to the north.
Issue. That's not
no Fungals. There they go.
That is awful for him.
Oh man, he's going to lose so much here.
The Fungal.
Wow. Oh my God. The Virus losing so many
disgusting.
Marines.
That is wow. 166 supply against 156, and the question is, when is he actually committing to this? The Vikings
looks like he might do it
the
now.
Corruptors are fighting right now. He is so afraid of the Fungals.
He's still taking this base out. He's going to come in here and he's going to tear it apart. Even with the Infestors here, it looks like he will get this hatchery. There's too much DPS on the siege tanks. And the battlecruiser gets neuroparasited.
He takes them down, and now he can just get them to the left, can focus them with the Corruptors if need be, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He takes out the Vikings first. There's the corruption spell.
Here we go, the Marines trying to close distance. He misses a few Fungals. And Virus taking a supply lead here. This is not the best exchange for Zenio. He's lost so many Infestors trying to take out this tank army. And Virus takes a huge supply lead here. Zenio is about to mine out. I mean, he's basically not mining at all right now. He lost his hatchery, his only mining base. Virus is retaking the center base at the bottom. And as soon as he starts mining from there, he is going to have a huge lead in the economy.
There are the Zerglings, though. The Zerglings spot the base, immediately attack. And we had just a quick shot to the top left. There are a ton of spine crawlers, and he could move all of them. I don't think he realizes it. This game is just so insane, and especially the players are so pressured right now.
Yeah, it's so fast-paced.
He doesn't realize that he has all these spine crawlers to the top left that he could use in order to to secure his base. They don't help him at the top left at all.
You're right. And he lost so many spines. He had spines at his base before, but he lost them all. Here we go. This is going to be such a crucial engagement. If Zenio loses his army, oh, great Fungal. If he loses his army, though, he is really going to be behind with no economy to stand on right now. But great Fungals persist here. He continues to Fungal. The battlecruiser adding in some DPS, but the Corruptors, I think, are too much.
The Vikings, they die. And now the air armies are gone. And for Virus, he's 30 supply down. He can't mine at the bottom center position because a few Zerglings were attacking him.
A great unit composition for Zenio.
Out of position. And this is looking grim, very, very grim for Virus. Would love Zenio to get, if he sticks with this combination, 1 or 2 additional.
He wants to repair his orbital, but he doesn't even have enough money to repair his final orbital at the bottom left. Wow. He has no money. He cannot repair it. He has to mine here before he can repair. Now he can repair, but he's got too many Fungals on his way, and I think Zenio will finally seal the deal here.
That
very back and forth game.
Is going to die. He can't lift it, or he will die at the Corruptors at the same time.
And there it is.
Taking out the siege tank. It dies, and
that's
so
going to be the game.
Oh,
look at that! Fungals all the SCVs.
What a Fungal!
He knurled one, but it died.
He knurled another one. He's trying to build a command center here. This is trolling on high level. Zenio is partying it up here.
Oh man, Virus with no more income.
Oh wow. The SCV dies, but still, this is just that funny.
And look at that. Fungal's going down the last chance of Virus. A very close game, but in the end, Zenio comes out on top. GG. Zenio, I have to say, after watching this game, a clear favorite in this group for sure.
A great, great game that we just saw. Very, very entertaining. Both players giving their best. Virus with amazing performance, battlecruiser play, and always was able to come back into the game. But in the end, it is Zenio who takes the match, and now he's 3-1 in the group, as is MC. Amazing games here by both of these players. Both StarTel players are out, though. They cannot advance anymore. At this point, it is impossible. Virus and Hack, they can go home. Unfortunate as it is, It's a sad day to be a StarTale player, and well, we have another game coming up with Seed against Tree.
Yep, Seed against Tree, kind of an ironic match there because a Seed will one day become a tree, but in this case, Seed has a lot more experience than
When did he come up with this one?
I don't know, someone tweeted it at me actually. I don't know who it was. Someone was like, isn't it kind of ironic they both have similar names? I was like, alright, I guess so, but the ironic thing here is that Seed, of course, has a lot more experience, and I think has been playing the much better games today.
Usually the Tree?
Usually, but in this case, no. Because a tree can live for almost 1,000 years and sometimes 1,000 years, that a tree normally has more experience, but in this case, the tree is the youngster, and in this case as well, the all-inner, not showing very many macro games. He did win a TVT, which he did play to the late game, but against Seed, I think Seed has the advantage by far.
I'm trying to figure out how the group actually works out right now. If Seed takes this game, he is 3-1 and tied with Zenio, MC, and I think then we only need 1 or 2.
Someone just told me something that's actually crazy.
You actually switched tabs too fast. I couldn't see it.
I want to keep it. I want to keep the suspense. Okay. In that last game, let me tell you something. Virus did not research. Yeah, he didn't research the weapon refit. He didn't research Behemoth reactor. He didn't get the Caduceus reactor. He also didn't research combat.
Don't tell me combat shields.
Combat shields. His opponent never was able to get adrenal glands either because he killed the spawning
You are kidding right now.
No, I'm not.
He did not have combat shields?
Apparently not. Everyone is telling me this, and I could have sworn I saw the shields on the Marines, but I guess I'm just imagining things, but that's crazy. That's crazy if true. Unbelievable, in fact. It may be that he didn't get it until really late or something like that, but still.
This is an upgrade that you kind of never see someone forget about it.
No, I mean, it's like worse
apparently
than
he never got combat shields.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. That's word on the street, man. And that makes Virus look like a god.
That kind of blows my mind right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's an upgrade that you would never check for because it's like so obvious to get.
It's like when you find out that Marine King never got combat shields against Kyrix on Shakura's Plateau in that famous game. It's like, whoa!
Ages ago, though.
Anyway, Seed versus Tree on Entombed Valley is our next match. We'll see who will come out ahead here. I think Seed definitely the favorite based on the games we've seen from Tree. Not living up to the hype so far. Did play one macro game. We'll find out who's going to take this match here at the GSL Up and Down matches with Kaldor and Wolf right now.